A new CNN poll now shows that Donald Trump is leading Hillary Clinton post-RNC convention. Now, the poll basically has them in a four-way matchup, which includes Gary Johnson and Jill Stein, and Donald Trump continues to beat Hillary Clinton 44 to 39%. And by 3 points, by the way, in a two-way head-to-head 48 to 45%. Now, Gary Johnson in this poll is at a staggering 9%. Holy shit, man. This means the Libertarian Party is about 6 points away from meeting the threshold to get into the presidential debates. That is enormous. That is hugely unprecedented in politics. Now, Jill Stein, however, not doing as well. She's at about 3%. Now, she's got a long way to go. But even so, for the Green Party, 3% is a lot more than what they normally get. So, look, this is historic for both independent parties. Now, even if they don't win, which is likely, sorry to say, they're going to actually have a really huge impact, especially if the polls continue to keep steady for Gary Johnson. He could end up deciding the election, depending on who he takes votes from more. So, now back to Trump. Now, this poll represents a 6-point convention bounce for Donald Trump. Now, that's pretty significant, actually, because there hasn't been a significant post-convention bounce in CNN's polling since the year 2000. Now, that was, of course, when Al Gore and George W. Bush both had an 8-point identical post-convention bounce. Then, of course, we know what happened in that election. Gore got screwed. Anyway, so now where did this bounce come from? Well, it looks like it came from independents, 43% of whom said that Trump's convention in Cleveland left them more likely to back him, while 41% were actually less likely. Pre-convention, independents split 34% to Clinton, 31% Trump, with sizable numbers behind Johnson, 22%, and Jill Stein, 10%. Now, 46% say they back Trump, 28% Clinton, 15% Johnson, and 4% to Stein. So, look, that's not good. Independents, kind of important. You kind of need them to win an election. I know the Democratic Party, good old boys and girls, they're in there saying, we don't want independents voting in our primaries. No, it's for Democrats only. Democratic Party's only for Democrats. You stay out, independents. But then when they've chosen a nominee that independents don't like, they say, well, you either vote for this nominee or you're going to get someone else. You're going to get someone you don't like Trump. Well, what if we don't like any of your candidates? Should we not have a voice? No, the Democratic Party is only for Democrats. Sorry. If you want to be a Democrat, you sign up to be a Democrat. But maybe I don't want to be a Democrat. Maybe I disagree with the way that the party is going. Too bad. Got to be a Democrat. Okay. Got to play ball. The hubris, man. Now, let's see. Back to the poll. Now, Trump, unsurprisingly, expanded his lead with white voters who do not hold a college degree. Remember, he likes the uneducated, right? No, he said poorly educated in his words. Hey, they're not my words. They're his words. Now, as I said, he expanded his lead from 51% to 31% lead before the convention to a 62 to 23% lead now. And look, when we're saying uneducated, we're saying not college degrees. That doesn't mean that those people are not smart. You could be in skilled trades. I understand that. But once again, this is Trump saying, I love the poorly educated. Trump, who went to, I believe, Wharton, who graduated, who's got a college degree in business. It's a little ironic that a lot of people continue to flock to him against their own economic interests. But hey, what do I know? Clinton, however, of course, leads with white voters who are college educated. Okay, so now that's kind of the typical breakdown. People without college degrees tend to vote more Republican. People with them tend to vote more Democratic. Okay. Now, not only this, but the most striking is the fact that Trump's favorability rating is now rising. 46% of registered voters say they now have a positive view of Donald Trump. That is up from 39% pre-convention. Now, he also now holds double-digit margins over Clinton as the most trusted on the economy and terrorism. Trump also cut into Clinton's edge on managing foreign policy. 50% said they trusted her more, down from 57% pre-convention. A majority, 52%, say now Trump is running for president for the good of the country rather than personal gain. Hillary Clinton has just 44% of respondents saying the same. He's also increased the share of people who call him honest and trustworthy from 38% to 43%, and those who would be proud to have him as president from 32% to 39%. And nearly half of them now say he's in touch with the problem ordinary Americans face in their daily lives. 46% say so, 37% did before the convention. Now, here's the bad news about Hillary Clinton. A full 68% of respondents now say that Clinton is not honest and trustworthy. That is her worst rating on that measure in CNN ORC polling history. Oh, that is a disaster. And now, Nate Silver of 538.com also tweeted out that if the election were held today, Donald Trump would win by a significant margin. How significant? 57.5% to 42.5%. That right there is a big win. That's not a small win. That's not margin of error. That's troubling. Now, of course, Silver also has to mention that that's only one of 3 predictions. The others, Clinton happens to win, and by win by a very comfortable margin. Now, immediately, of course, everyone is saying, well, just disregard that one. That's an anomaly. Let's really focus on the one where Clinton's going to win. So, there's that. Now, about Nate Silver. Now, in 2012, he was accurate because he used math. And he also used historical data and trends. Now, this election is different. This isn't like any other elections. It's not the same kind. And while polls, while not predictive, do paint a mood of the picture of the country, or paint a picture of the mood of the country. Trump has continued to rise in the polls against Hillary Clinton the longer this has gone on, and as more and more things come out about Clinton. Yes, that email thing was very damaging to her politically, as well as on top of the DNC leaks. Plus, more that are continued to be promised by WikiLeaks. Those paint a pretty dire picture for Hillary Clinton. And yet, throughout all this, she still thinks she has this in the bag. Oh, her hubris knows no bounds. Now look, she could rebound and have a bump of her own after this convention. But I don't know, man. This week's going to be pretty rowdy. Even more so than the Republican convention. So hold on to your hats. It's going to be a pretty bumpy week.